Hi, Henny, how are you? Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, I'm Teknikolour. Today, I'm sharing my first build ever. Well, more specifically, this build was started by my boyfriend and I as our first time ever playing The Sims, and it took us 3 years to complete. Before we start though, I promise that I do a lot of building in The Sims 4 and share much nicer builds than what you're about to see today here on YouTube. So if that sounds fun and you'd like what you see, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to help support my content in a really big way, you can use my EA creator code, Teknikolour, at checkout on the EA app when grabbing Sims packs or even other EA games like Apex Legends or Dragon Age. It gives me a small 5% commission at no extra cost to you, and it really does help me continue being able to make content like this full time. You did not hear wrong at the beginning of this video. August 20th, 2022. Was the very first time that my boyfriend, CinnabonAndy, and I had ever played The Sims. Not The Sims 4, The Sims. Like, literally anything from the franchise. I'm honestly not sure why neither of us had really ever gotten into The Sims before this, especially because I love interior design and Andy is an actual architect. Oddly enough, though, it was my Twitch community who had urged me to play The Sims 4 because they had seen just how much I had enjoyed building and designing homes in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I was still pretty unsure if I'd like the game, though, so I offered it up to my community as an unlockable stream where we'd both build our dream home together and play The Sims 4 for the very first time. Now, imagine that your first time playing The Sims 4 is a build challenge. You're unfamiliar with the controls, the UI, everything. And you decide to build your dream home, a Victorian mansion, in Windenburg, the world that comes with the Get Together expansion pack. And out of all of the lots that you have access to, you decide to build on a 64 by 64. Well, that's exactly what we did. We picked the von Windenburg estate lot in the Crumbling Isle neighborhood of Windenburg. I don't know what we were thinking, but we built this monstrosity. This is the entire lot. And this is the house we built for our very first time playing The Sims 4. And actually, you can see we made Sims too. A lot of it was also spent in Kaz the very first time we played. But this is me. I always wanted to have red hair. He looks nothing like me. I tried. And this is Andy, my boyfriend. And then these are our dogs, Arista and Styles. I just want to show you the exterior very quickly, and a lot of the exterior I did most recently. But over here, we've got a little swing set. We've got a little walkway path over here. We've got this lovely little tree, and we have this set up for a wedding. Andy and I are not yet married. Even pretty sure that 3 years ago when we started this, we were joking about maybe one of us will propose soon. We're at a stalemate. We're at a stalemate. We've got a little pathway that extends over here. We've got a little greenhouse out here. And then we've got just a little cute little gazebo. And then we've got a little area for the pets over here. And that is the full exterior. I feel like it makes sense to do an overview first, but I will do a full tour. But this is the attic. And there's really nothing up here. We didn't know what to do with this, but this was basically it. And then this is the upper floor. So there's a lot to take in. I know it's a big build, but this is the entryway, so you can see down to below. Over on the right side, we have my office. So I have a little door in here to my office, and then this whole big room is my office. So I'd stream in here, I'd make videos. There's a little bathroom over here for me. And then over here, there's like a little theater room, so we can kind of just like show videos, or like Andy or whoever, they could be watching my streams if I'm streaming. I don't know what I was thinking. And then on this side back here is Andy's library. He always wanted to have like a huge library like this, and it is 2 floors. So you'll see the bottom after. I'll show you that. And over here, it's just like a little walkway, huge hallway, but we have access to a kind of like a parental suite. So there's a bed, and there's like a little private little living room in case like our parents ever wanted to stay over, or we just had guests over, they could just hang out here. There is a bathroom over here as well. And then on this side, we've got the little laundry room, which is not at all little. And then we've got another guest bedroom actually over here. And this one is just mostly just because I loved the colors. I love growing together. I love that bed. I just needed it. And there's even like a little tiny office over here. And then over here is actually the entrance to our bedroom. So we've got our own little foyer. We had to use up the space. Here is our bedroom. And of course, we've got a little fireplace in here. We've got a TV. And then we've also got a TV on the other side. And we have our own little private, like little living space. We've got a little reading nook in here, a little tiny library in case, you know, the huge one over there is not doing it for us, I guess. We've got our little walk-in closet over here. And then we have our primary bathroom over here. And of course, there is a balcony right off of our primary bedroom with a little access for the pups. And there's like a little lounging space over here. Then on the first floor, we have our formal living room over here, so we could just have guests over in this spot. And then right across the hall is the actual living room, and it's kind of got like a little music room over here as well. Behind that is a little mudroom, and this is before we had the mudroom, the Grange mudroom kit. And then we have the first floor of Andy's library. Then over here, we've got a bathroom tucked in here. Then we've got this little room over here, which leads into just like all the other spaces. So this leads to the staircase. It also leads to the kitchen, and it leads to the dining room, which is also right off of the formal living room. But the dining room right here, I think is so cute. And I had a lot of fun building this out. But of course, this is back when we didn't know sizing. So we put 2 tables to, it was a lot, y'all. It was a lot. The kitchen over here, though, there's like a little breakfast nook. And I will tell you that this kitchen was very much inspired by Practical Magic, the movie. Such a good movie. And, you know, we're getting towards autumn. So, you know, might have to break that movie out again. But this is our cute, not little, breakfast nook. And then this, of course, is the kitchen itself, which again is massive. And then right off of the kitchen is a little greenhouse. And then, of course, we have another little outdoor entertaining space here. And then this balcony wraps all the way around. There's some seating, and it wraps all the way to the front, all the way across. And there is, of course, another door here for the mudroom. But now I'd like to give you a full tour. I really like this because you come in to this front room. You just open these doors, and this space, ooh, don't look at that. Again, we were very new. This opens up into the rest of the house, and it honestly is massive. It also took Andy like a phenomenal amount of time to build out this staircase, and I think we could have done it in a much easier way, like now that we know more about The Sims 4 and how to build in it. But we did the best we could. Over here, we'll go into this room, and this is the formal living room. And it's so interesting to me because you can see like what rooms we had like spent more time in, and we had tried to, I don't know, just sort of like show off more of our like building expertise as we learned more. We had gotten more packs at this point, but this is the formal living room. I really like a lot of the stuff from Cats and Dogs, and I really love Growing Together, Horse Ranch. A lot of these I just loved, and I wanted to showcase in here. Going into the dining room, we've got this portal to everywhere, basically. I decided that we needed a door everywhere. But we've got a fireplace. We've got like a little hutch over here. We'll head over here now into the breakfast nook, I guess you might want to call it. But this, again, this whole space is very much inspired by the movie Practical Magic. And we didn't know what to do or how to build it out, and it was so much fun building this on stream and just trying to figure out like the right way that we could like make this look how we wanted. We used mods like the tool mod. It was a lot. This, of course, is the kitchen, which is so big it needs 2 sinks, 2 dishwashers, 2 ovens, and 2 fridges. Oh my God. But I needed the space to be accurately huge like it is in Practical Magic, which is honestly not that huge. But this is it. We will take a little foray out here into the greenhouse right now. I feel like the greenhouse came out like really cute. And I don't know. I just really liked it. I really liked it. I put a lot of plants in here. I was never a plant person, but I feel like more recently I have become a plant person. Over the years, I have grown. Through this door is the stairwell. And of course, there is room to get into the dining room. But then over here, there is another tiny little archway. And you have a couple of rooms over here. We'll check out the mudroom first. And this, I think, is adorable. I think it would be much improved with the new Grange mudroom kit. But we didn't have that when we built this. Through this door over here is that like full bathroom. I guess it's not really a full bath because there is no bathtub, but there is a walk-in shower, which I don't even know if you could get in because the dog got trapped in here when I was trying to show off The Sims. But we got laundry. We've got a huge closet. We'll go into Andy's library. We'll go in here. So I'll show you around this. I think it's a lovely space. I have no idea if any of this build is functional. I would assume so. Oh no, we have a light on nothing. A light on nothing. Oh my God. But you go up this ladder. You just head on up here. And then you are on the 2nd floor over here. And of course there is a tiny little reading nook. We could just hang out in here. There is, a look down to below. There's some more bookcases over here. There's a huge fireplace, but we'll head back down because we're not done with the 1st floor yet. Now, of course, you can see back into the front hall, but over here is the living room. And this was actually really fun to build. I was very impressed with this wall that I put here because I wanted like double fireplaces. Actually, I have no idea if there's a fireplace on the other side of this still or not, but that's kind of like where I was going with this. And then we also have one of those big Growing Together windows to kind of just like let light in through because it's a small room back there. But this is the living room. I think it is really sweet. I think it's really nice. I would definitely want to hang out in here and play some board games around the coffee table, watch a movie. And then, of course, over here is kind of like a little music room. Okay, so there is the second fireplace. I was right. And I don't know. I just thought it was like a really nice use of the space, because it was like, what else do we do here now? You know, we have this huge living room, but we have this 64 by 64 build. And that, I think, is the entire first floor. So let's head upstairs to the second floor. And we'll head over here, over to the left. Of course, we have some Brindleton Bay nods over here, but we'll head in here. This is kind of like the guest suite. We figured like our parents, so like my in-laws, my parents, we could have them stay here, or we could just have like any guest here really. But we figured this would be like a nicer space, specifically like for both sets of parents. So we have like a tiny little living room space for them to just hang out over here. And then we've got the bed, and the views out here are spectacular. They even can see out here. They could hang out the window a little bit, see our little balcony, see how the dogs are doing. And then of course they have their own ensuite bathroom. I think that this might even be before the bathroom kits. Oh my God. Then right across the hall is the primary bedroom. So we, of course, have our own little foyer again, because, you know, that's something that's needed to get from the rest of your house into your bedroom. This, of course, is our sleeping area. So we've got our nightstands, we've got low, because our bed's low right now. We don't have dogs. We would love to have dogs. And still 3 years later, no house and no dogs. Still living in the same apartment. But we have a space for the dogs over here. We've got a little fireplace in there. And then, of course, there is like a private, like, little living space here, so we could like watch some TV if we wanted to. Through here we have our little reading nook, and then down here we have our little closet, and then in here is our bathroom. So we've got the toilet room, we have the dueling shower moment, we've got our tub right over the window over here, and I don't know, I thought this was like a really cute build. I definitely see room for improvement. But it was really fun working on this. We also have a door over here to get out onto our balcony, and the dogs have their own space, so they don't have to scratch at the door to be let out onto the balcony. They could just head out their own. We've got some lounges over here. On this side, we've got a room over here, which is the laundry room, and I'm really proud of this room. I think that this is really cute. Like, I feel like laundry day is an underrated pack. I don't necessarily love doing laundry in in my Sims Let's Plays, but you know, I love the items from it. I love the CAS, and I just love building laundry rooms. I think it's really fun to do. Through here, we have another guest room. And this one is a little darker. Maybe if we had kids, this could be like a kid's room. Neither of us really wants kids, but you know. Here we are. We've got a little desk over here. I also figured I might work in here sometime, like do some graphic design in here maybe, who knows. Now on the other side of the hall, we have access to the attic and to go back downstairs. I'm not gonna show the attic because there's really nothing up there. But over here, we have this little theater room, or kind of like another family room. And this, I figured we could have my stream up. So like maybe people are in here, they could watch the stream. And then like if we had people who were like, I'm doing a collab or whatever, and they're going to come in, then they can come into my office. And here is the streaming setup. I have a lot of monitors. At the point of building this, I think I had maybe 2 monitors, maybe 1. Technically have 4 now. So more than is in here. We got some shelves, we got a little vinyl player, we have dog treats. And I don't know, I just wanted it to be like very chill. I really loved the vibe of using some of the like Discover University sort of items in here. And then of course out onto this balcony, just like a little small balcony, so you could just like see out. Also, this would like be so beautiful to like I mean, you would be sitting down there at the wedding, but if you wanted to be over here and just like look out at the wedding, oh. You can also get into my office over here. There's like a little vestibule, little area. I also put this light here because I'm convinced that when I have a house, I'm still going to be streaming, and I want to have like people knowing that I'm streaming, I guess. So this will turn red whenever I'm live. That's something I've always wanted to do. There's literally no reason for it, but here we are. And then we have a quick little bathroom over here in case, you know, you need to go potty when you're streaming, you know, just like quickly run out. And then, of course, on the other side of this, you saw this level already, but this is Andy's library. And I am just really impressed with the way that this all turned out. I am also like extremely proud of the fact that we finally finished this. Oop, well, I'm showing you the attic. There's the stairwell, here's a little door, and there's, of course, a little balcony. But nobody goes up here. But that, my friends, is the entire build. And can I make you laugh? Very quickly. Here, let's just do this. Now, would you believe me if I told you that this is actually the starting save of this one? We ended up deciding not to go with this one because we thought that this house, it was just a little too big, and we needed to make it a little bit smaller. Oh my God. And you could see all the progress that we had made. So while we were furnishing this, we decided things were different. I remember all of this. Then over here is like the starting stages of my office. Andy's library is basically the first thing that we did because when we were starting to build this, he basically shoved me out of the way on my own stream and was like, I'm the architect, I'm doing this. And he got so into it. Oh my God. I'm so glad that he has ended up loving The Sims 4 as much as I have. We have our kitchen over here. That basically has stayed pretty much the same. And that's it. But you can see that we've made things a little bit smaller. Thank you so much for watching. If for some reason you'd like to download this build off the gallery, you can find it using my EA account ID, Teknikolour. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Plus, don't forget to use my creator code, Teknikolour, if you're planning on grabbing Get Together or any other Sims packs. While it unfortunately isn't a discount code, it does help take a small portion of your sale out of EA's pockets and helps to support my channel so I can keep making content like this full time. But I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.